What's up, you bastards? This is the Mammoth coming back at you from Veterans Trash Talk Behind the Beard. Today, I'm talking to a friend of mine, Michael Zhang, Corporal of Marines, powerlifting, recruiter, all of that. We're going to talk about his journey through the Marine Corps, a little bit of my journey, possibly some powerlifting, and overall general thoughts on the state of the Marine Corps and our times. So, Michael, if you can tell us about why did you join the Marine Corps? We'll just get into it.
So, the reason why I joined the Marine Corps overall is for personal development. Because when you really think about it, socially, college is supposed to be the next step after high school. But they don't really teach you about those life essential skills, And I knew college was always going to be there, but that wasn't me. That wasn't who I wanted to be. So I chose the Marine Corps because I wanted to experience the world and really see what life really is. Because I know there's more to life than just going to school for 14 years, And the Marine Corps really did it all for me. It's simple kid, Merced, California, small goals, having all these big old dreams, but no way to get there. And I didn't realize that becoming a Marine, joining the Marine Corps, actually led me to achieve some of those goals in my life that I had as a kid. And as far as personal development goes, I used to be very introverted as a kid back in high school, but slowly I started to open up, just simply become this whole different I wouldn't say different person, but I learned more things that there was to about life basically, and the Marine Corps just helped fit in everywhere that I've always wanted to have growing up back in high school, traveling halfway across the world, going to Japan, Australia, which is the best time of my life, just blowing shit up, shooting guns, living that Call of Duty dream. I mean, that's one of the key factors as why I joined the Marines. But when I got in, it really wasn't like Call of Duty. But it was a hell of an experience. Would I go ahead and do it again? Absolutely, without a doubt. So a little bit about me. It's I born and raised in Merced, California. Been in the Marine Corps for about 7 years. It's my original MOS was the infantry ornament, just like Dave. Powerlifting is a very, very big part of me as well, as he explained earlier. And I'm now a recruiter, coming up on my last year in the Marine Corps pretty soon. As far as being an ornament, that's the best damn job in the Marine Corps. I don't care what anybody says. Aside from that, my experience with the Marines, I've only been on 2 deployments. More paid vacation. None of them were combat. Had the absolute best time of my life. When people talk about having or living life and getting that experience, it doesn't get any better than joining the Marines and doing it with lifelong friends, your boys when you first get in. So the only reason you would know about that is you simply have to be a Marine, and not just any Marine. You have to go be an infantry Marine. You gotta go be a grunt, live the part, and that's why I joined the Marines.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. I joined the Marine Corps because I just didn't. It's not that I didn't have options locally. I didn't give a shit if I did or I didn't. My family's been in the military since the damn dawn of time. So I was just the next generation that could have gone, and I chose to. The difference is my family's been in the Navy since the existence of boats. So I'm the one that fucked it up and went into the Marine Corps. And my parents didn't like it. They hated me for a while when it came to that. But once I went to Iraq, my parents were all about it, very supportive. Everything was all good. But when I joined, like I said, I joined in early 2000. There was no Afghanistan, Iraq, you know what I mean? There wasn't even a 9/11. Nothing had happened yet, so it was just my idea, I'm going to get out of town. And I'm going to be a grunt because that's what you do. You shoot guns, you blow shit up, and you get to travel and meet people well, why the fuck not? That sounds like a plan. That's exactly what I would love to do. So that's what I wound up doing. So, next question is, what is your biggest takeaway from being in the Marine Corps?
My biggest takeaway of being in the Marine Corps, I'd have to say, is your tolerance level as far as resiliency and taking shit from other people. It's everybody, it's just after high school, so everybody's like a cupcake, you know. But like being a Marine, it's definitely built up like that level of resilience because we deal with so much bullshit. It's like we clean shit just to clean shit for no apparent reason. Like,
Just to pass the time.
yeah, it's like we'll clean our room for 1,000 hours for no reason, and we'll just sit around with a thumbs up our asses to who knows when, you know. And like I feel like taking that back with me is definitely gonna help me out deal with like all the bullshit out here, like in the civ div, I guess you would say. It's like you don't get butthurt as easy. It's like you know like when to get mad and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that getting mad is the right way to go, but you're less prone to getting butthurt when life throws you like shit, you know. And that's the biggest thing I would highly like take from the Marine Corps. It helps you out overall.
Yeah. Shoot, the biggest takeaway. I don't know. Like my biggest takeaway from being in the Marine Corps was I just loved, and it was for the longest time. It's kind of changing a little more now, but the biggest thing I appreciated for the longest time was the camaraderie. Like it didn't matter how shitty it was. I knew my boy was going through the same shit, and he was just as unhappy. But we woke up and did it the next day, and it's just what it was. So just making great friends and just being tight with people you may not normally have been tight with ever in life. Might not have ever been cool or friends with that dude, but you became that dude's friend, and you guys bonded and got to know each other's family and all sorts of shit. Like that's something that I took away that I really enjoyed the most was the camaraderie, and it's something that you'll miss, and it's something that I definitely miss. The hard part is there's a lot of guys after you've been a civilian for a while that you were totally cool with that you notice I don't like the civilian version of this guy. I don't fucking like him anymore. And there's a lot of guys like that. There's a lot of dudes that I served with that I was kind of cool with, whatever, that I don't even talk to anymore. Not friends on social media. Don't give a fuck about them anymore. People grow apart. People are different. You know what I mean? You were cool when you were 20 years old. You were both young and dumb and just experiencing the world. But when you're adults making your own decisions, having careers and families, perspectives change. You know what I mean? And just people are different. The next question, I kind of know the answer, but I'm curious to hear it as everyone else is if you could change your MOS, would you? Because I'll tell you my part real quick. You're a mortarman as I was, and knowing what I know now, I wouldn't change it. I wish I could have been a better mortarman now, what I know. Of course, in the moment, I'm trying to learn and be good at something I'd never done in my life. But no, I would do it all over again. I loved it. It was great. People loved us. People hated us. But ultimately, people wanted to be us.
Yep, it's like, I could definitely agree with that one. So if I could change my MOS, I definitely would not change it. So I remember when I first went to infantry training battalion, which is what we call ITB for our grunts. At first, I didn't know that there was like a machine gunner, like a mortarman.
Specific MOSs.
Yeah. So the only thing I knew about infantry was just running and gunning. That was it. You know?
Shooting shit.
And they choose me, or they finally told me to go be a mortarman because stereotypically I looked smart. I looked the part. And at first I hated it, I resented it, but then I came to grow like very, very thankful for it. Because it's after seeing like what my role was as a mortarman, like in like an actual like infantry unit, made me realize like how much more badass we actually are compared to what people like,
once you got past being an ammo man.
Yeah, it was like
fuck that.
Just like you said, like people hated us because we were always driving our trucks, our Humvees and shit. Each and every time they pulled up, they always asked, like, "Yo, can I drop a round?" You know, it's like
everyone wanted to shoot it. Everyone wanted to drop rounds.
So it's always that.
But nobody wanted to, take them bipods on a hump. Nope. Nobody wanted to take that awkward ass barrel on a hump.
So like as shit as that sounds, as far as like humping and rucking all that shit, it's like I definitely would not change my MOS at all. So I'm glad I chose what I did. Because originally I was supposed to be an aviation electrician. My recruiter tried to.
That seems more stereotypical.
Yeah, I suppose. So
he's a smart guy, a smart job.
originally my recruiter tried to sell me into communication electronics to be a comm guy with like I think it was like a 5,000 bonus. Yeah. Like me personally, I wasn't gonna join like the Marines and like do it for like the money or anything because it was just a simple pride of being a Marine. Like I wanted to be a Marine more than anything else because like the job infantry at that time wasn't available, and knowing what I know now as a recruiter, like, how all that shit comes to play kind of sucks, or it sucks to suck depending on when you enlist. So I turned away that 5,000 bonus being a comm guy, and so they sold me into aviation electrician. So I was hooked on initially at first when they explained the concept to me about how and when I transitioned out of the Marines, it was going to help me like get a good paying job.
Yeah, you probably would have got a ballin' ass job.
Yeah, that's what they said. You know?
That would have been great.
So,
you would have been set with that shit.
So I settled with that originally, and then because infantry was my second choice if like that one wasn't available. So what happened was some kid backed out and out of like his boot camp date and all that stuff.
Damn.
He just so happened to have infantry, and I took that within a heartbeat. And
So you can get out of here.
yeah, it's like I literally took off like a month after my high school graduation and never looked back since then. So glad I got infantry.
Yeah. No, I took off the day after sober grad. Didn't waste any time either. Got the fuck out of here. So and it was a good time. What would you tell the boot you? If you could go back and whisper in that kid's ear, what would you tell the boot you?
I'd whisper to him, or actually, I'd probably fucking knife him, to be honest, but tell him, spend your money wisely. I mean, have fun, but don't blow your money. Don't spend it all on credit cards, stupid shit. Like, have fun, but really live in the moment. And, like, don't take shit super fucking serious. I know there's rules and all that stuff. Bend them, but don't break them. So you don't get in trouble. It's like, have fun. It's like, the boys you will come to have, like at first you're not going to like them. Like, you didn't like them in the beginning, because I remember that. But you'll come to learn and love and grow with them, because they do become your lifelong friends. And you won't get that anywhere. Like,
Yeah. You're going to see them every day. You're going to see them more than your own family.
Yep. And it's like, learn to appreciate that, because they understand the language that nobody else will ever understand. And that's what I would tell boot me. So
Yeah. You get to know, oh, yep, Jean, he always dips long cut. He only likes Coors Light. He'll always get a 12-pack every Friday. And you get to know people on such a level where you're like, God, I know everything about that guy.
Yep.
He's so predictable. I know how to pick this guy apart. I know everything about him. Because you spend so much time together. If I had to tell something to my boot me, I would say tighten the fuck up a little bit. Because, fuck, blowing out star cards, getting tattoos all the time, fucking girls in all sorts of countries, just living wild and 20 years old, no girlfriend, no wife, just living wild. And I wish I would have tightened it up a little. I would have been a little better prepared a little further down the line, but instead I was just living wild and getting mine, as they say. And it's all right. I don't 100% regret it, because I can look back and be like, man, I remember that night. Man, I remember that dude, me and him, we had a good ass time out there. Man, all sorts of memories and shit. But it made me who I am today. And if I didn't make some of those decisions, good or bad, it wouldn't have necessarily brought me to where I am today. And I can appreciate that and learn from it in a way, you know. And if there's anything, so we kind of start wrapping it up a little bit. What can you take from the Marine Corps experience that you liked and something that you disliked, that you'll remember that you liked and that you disliked?
Let's see. One thing that I liked about the Marine Corps, and I still love to this day, is it's like it really does, like the Marine Corps really does help you grow as a person. And because a lot of people see the military as like a job or like a way out to pay for college, which isn't the case as far as like the Marine Corps goes. So the Marine Corps does like an absolutely great job of like really like bringing out the best of you in the worst of times, time after time. Like Marine Corps is gonna run you through your shit. You know, it's not gonna be all sunshine and rainbows. Like, you're gonna have your good times, your great times, and you're gonna have your absolute shitty, miserable times where you're waking up in puddles and all that shit. So like, being able to take that back and really, really like implement it like day-to-day life is something I really like appreciate the Marine Corps for. And then one thing I absolutely hate about the Marine Corps is like overall like toxic leadership. Because when you like as a recruiter, when I talk to kids, like we always talk to them about how the Marine Corps is going to help build you up as a better leader, make you a more marketable individual. And I originally wanted to stay in to really like continue that legacy on, so that they can see what the Marine Corps really is, compared to having like a toxic leader like really taking that whole aspect away from them, because that's what they're exposed to initially as a recruiter, from you to them, and you're there to help them build their legacy, not tear it down, you know. So especially when it comes down to like leadership, and when it starts to get toxic, like they'll do anything and everything to put you down, like give you a bad rep, whatever name, way, like whatever shape they can like make you look bad, to make them look good in the end, so they can reap all the credits for all of that. Yeah. And that's the number one reason why like absolutely like stellar Marines get out, you know, it's because of that. And that's the one thing I hate, you know.
Yeah, they get tired of the bullshit. I can tell you something I probably hate the most. I didn't think about it much back then, but I hate the most, and to this day, is you don't realize when you think about it, most of you are all the same fucking age. Like the old men of the Marine Corps are like in their low 30s. But most dudes, like if you're a PFC or a Lance Corporal, your sergeant or staff sergeant might even be the same fucking age as you, if not a year or two older. So you've got guys barking orders and talking to you like your parent and you're the child, when some of these guys are literally the same age, if not a year older than you. People that should be peers, but because of the rank structure system, they're God to you, and you have to bow down and listen to these people like you're the total bitch. And I always hated that. I understand rank structure, and I understand, the chain of command, etc. I just hated that. Okay, this fucking guy is literally like 3 months older than me, but he's in charge of me, and I have to listen to him like I'm a damn child. Instead of just like, we can work together, and you can answer to higher ups above me, but can you not treat me like such a child? We're literally almost the same age. That's something I always hated, but it's what it is, you know what I mean? But something I loved always, probably still, is the camaraderie, the good times, the memories you make. I wish I would stayed in longer, but at the time, it was deployment, combat like fucking crazy deployments, and the death was just getting all around me, and the more of my friends that were dying and getting injured and seriously wounded, it was getting too close to me, and the girl I was with at the time, who had my son, basically gave me the ultimatum of, you should probably get out before you die, or you can pay child support and not have your son. So I chose option B, so I wouldn't be completely screwed, which ultimately wound up screwing in the end. That sucks, but I wish I would have stayed in. My cousin just retired at 23 years as a warrant officer, and he was in artillery for, 18 years, maybe more. I wish I could have stayed in that long. That would have been nice. I wish I would have been in that long with this wife, because this is the one that actually gives a shit about me and would have loved being a military wife. But that's how life is. You don't always get it the way you want it. You just got to roll with the punches. But yeah, that's what I would have liked. What do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. Shit. But you're ready to get out, aren't you?
Yep.
You're done, huh?
It's like, I personally feel like I've gotten what I wanted out of the Marines. It's like I feel like I'm ready to move on. It's like nothing bad like about the Marines, Just like I said, like I wanted to stay in and break that stigmatism of like really like leading on and sustaining that legacy of like what like a Marine really is.
Still 7 years is good. A lot of lot of dudes do 4 and out.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people do 4 and they get out, you know, because like it's like as a recruiter, like when I preach to these kids, you know, it's like I don't sell them on jobs. I don't sell them like I don't promise them anything other than like giving them an opportunity to like experience life in a different way, but on their own terms with the Marine Corps, obviously, you know. So like it's like overall, it's like I've loved every bit of it. There are times where I absolutely hated it, but it is what it is. You know, we all have our own different experiences of the Marine Corps, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And me personally, I feel like I'm ready to go. Like take that next step.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I'll tell you, dude, from experience, and you probably have a little bit of an understanding, at least from being a recruiter. There's a lot of positive, really good opportunities for people that get out of the Marine Corps or the military in general, that get out and become a civilian. A lot of people like hiring vets. Mm-hmm. They know what your work ethic theoretically is going to be, yep. And they love that. Otherwise, go to school, sit on that BAH, make that money while you're going to school, and plot your move. But otherwise, you know, it's not terribly difficult to get a decent job as a vet, mm-hmm. And I'm hoping you'll grow to like that. I wish I could have been in 7 years or longer, but I didn't feel like I had a hell of a lot of option. So that's how it is. Same thing for you. You had things come up your way. It is what it is. But you've had a lot of good times, I imagine, in the Marine Corps. It made you who you are today. You learned a lot about yourself and about the world. And now you get to start a whole new exciting chapter in this crazy ass fucking Biden world. So, with that being said, we're good. This has been Corporal Michael Zhang. I am the Mammoth. This is Veterans Trash Talk Behind the Beard. Get the fuck out of here.